Now you think it's all glamour and fun making videos for clients and that it's easy to make big bucks in this industry? Hey guys, it's me, Differenter Colin here again. Now in the previous video, I was talking bad about the social media marketing industry. Well, bad as in it's bad to be in this industry. Well, today I'll continue with sharing my thoughts on another bad industry to be in, which is also the other core pillar of offerings here at my company Learns. I'm talking about the video production industry. Now at this point you might be asking, Colin, how can that be? How can the video production industry be bad? I mean, you've always been showing that you are having fun during your shoots, and I see that you're making big bucks. Even a few videos ago you're bragging about your $500,000 revenue, isn't it? Well, you're not wrong. Currently, video production for us remains to be a very enjoyable process. I mean, every day is a different day for us in the office. Now, one day we can be in a $22 million penthouse with a killer view. The next, we are slogging under the hot sun shooting lighthouses. And yet another day, we are in the comfort of a studio working behind 4 cameras and 8 lights shooting an interview. Now, I'll be frank, I'll do this over sitting in a boring cubicle trapped within 4 walls anytime. And yes, sometimes video production pays well too, and at times a single project can reward us with the equivalent of someone's annual salary. And if we go beyond these monetary gains, right, other rewards such as being able to work with the most talented people in a team is such a blessing to be in this industry too. But, and it is a huge but here, all these fun and rewards will grind to a halt sometime down the road, or at least greatly diminish over the next few years. The video production industry will get increasingly tougher, and here's why. Now, let's just go back to the year 2000, that's barely like 2 decades back. Well, in that year, my wife and I took our second honeymoon for nearly 3 weeks to Australia. Now, I'm with a Ricoh camera, and I believe we brought along another Sony camcorder. We documented our trip with at least like 400 photos and over nearly 14 hours, I believe, of raw footages. And this might not seem like a lot today, but you have to remember that back then, digital cameras haven't been invented yet. So 400 over photos meant at least like 12 rolls of film, and 14 hours of video meant no less than 14 mini DV tapes. Just think of the logistic involved in lugging all those films and all those tapes wherever we went. And then fast forward 4 years later, when I finally got my first digital camera, the Nikon D70. Taking photos became an entirely new experience of just snapping away without reservation. And then a few years later, we upgraded to a Sony Handycam that has an inbuilt hard disk. Again, how we shot videos changed entirely. But the biggest breakthrough came in 2014 when I finally could afford the Nikon D750, a full-frame photo camera that can take videos. And suddenly we had that all-in-one camera that can do both roles dutifully. However, it was also around then when smartphone cameras became very usable too. So a year later in 2015, I got my first iPhone, and it was that iPhone 6S Plus. And we haven't stopped taking photos and videos, almost primarily using iPhone since then. And that expensive D750 became a backup camera. The whole point to this story is this: cameras have become smaller and more integrated. Most smartphones today can take decent videos, and the flagship phones are darn good in shooting professional looking videos. I mean, my iPhone 12 Pro Max, the model from last year, can take HDR videos and slow-mos down to 240 frames per second. Only our professional $5,000 Sony a7S III comes close to this performance, and that price tag comes without a lens, and we can only do 120 fps. Now what's more, when it comes to cinematography or the way the video is shot, the smartphone cameras and the small action cameras brought about totally new ways in presenting the world to our audience. Previously unattainable gimbal shots can be done with a humble phone or a $500 Insta360 Go 2 action camera. And I haven't even mentioned about the drones. Like a mere $3,000 DJI drone has and can put a helicopter, a pilot, and a $200,000 camera out of job nowadays. And not only that, editing used to be a very challenging skill. But most people will not even know what to do, when Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro is open on their computers. But kids, literally 10-year-old kids can edit movies better than me on TikTok and in CapCuts today. My point is this: video production has gotten so easy, both in terms of accessibility and execution, to not only filmmakers, but also everyday content creators. And with the convenience of YouTube, anyone with a smartphone, some spare time, and a bit of creativity and talent can become a filmmaker or video producer. Anyone. So it's not only video production companies versus video production companies anymore. Over the years, I'm seeing film companies struggling to survive, bigger production companies downgrading from shooting $150,000 commercials to doing $15,000 music videos, and smaller production companies feeding on scraps to survive or risk closing down. Just yesterday, right, as in the day before this day of recording this video, a client is asking for discount over my $5,000 for 5 videos package, an absolute steal in the industry given our experience and results. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, it's not about video production companies pitting against other production companies anymore. Today, we need to compete with marketing agencies that have introduced video production in their service offerings. And by that I mean that they have one videographer come editor shooting with one camera and 2 LED lights. We also need to fight with freelancers that can charge like 3 times cheaper than us. And even students who are doing shoots for mere $200 nowadays. And not only that, once forming a bulk of our clientele, right, property agents have become harder and harder to onboard now. First, they can go for very cheap agencies that offer like $500 video, maybe even less. Second, many of them have received some form of training, so now they can shoot their own videos. Otherwise, the more successful ones among them will have their own video staff or even video team to aid them in their shoots and edits. So, what now? Should I panic? Or maybe even throw in the towel like what I almost did for social media marketing? Well, no. You see, unlike social media marketing, which is something entirely technical and can be replicated from one person to another if there is a set of very detailed instructions, video production cannot be so easily copied. Now, over these few years, I can unashamedly say that we at Learns have grown leaps and bounds with the quality of our videos. In the previous videos, you've seen that we started with really bad videos, and today, we are among the best in personal branding and corporate videos. We've also introduced quite a few new ways of shooting along the way. So it's no secret that many other agencies copy our formula. In fact, quite a few of them are my Facebook friends, and seeing what they do on their timeline, what they are doing feels familiar, like what I've done 2 to 3 years ago. I would say there are a couple of them trying to mimic our style of shoots even. But fortunately, like I said, video production is not so easily copyable. The reason lies in one factor, which is the art's direction. Now, even if they can copy our storyboards, our gear, and even the way we edit, the way, the talent or the client is portrayed on the screen, the lighting, the angles, the depth of field, the props, the colors, the music, and the way all these footages string together to form the final video, I doubt anyone is able to copy the Learn style. And then there's also our innovativeness, if there's such a word. We just launched our new interactive video package that allows users to click directly on the video itself. And also, we are in the midst of launching our new home tour videos, which gives a totally new experience to the target audience of our property agent clients. And come 2022, we have another 3 new products planned. So yes, the video production industry is getting tougher, but it will only be so only if we stay still by offering the same old product year after year. And that's why film companies and those bigger production houses have been struggling. For Lens at least, because we remain lean and agile, we will continue to lead in terms of our innovativeness in this industry. Competitors will try to copy what we do, and consumers will become more and more comfortable in shooting videos on their own. But you can rest assured that Lens will continue to offer higher quality videos year after year that you will be interested to watch and perhaps even engage us to shoot for you. So I hope you'll find some inspiration in what I've shared in this episode, because what I've shared here doesn't only apply to the video production industry. Any industry, any field, any domain that touches the internet and rely even vaguely on technology will be subjected to this effect. And over time, it will get tougher and tougher. In any case, help me hit the like button so that YouTube will pump this video to other viewers. And if you subscribe too, I'll really appreciate your kind support. But regardless, even if you're watching now as my competitor who won't even click on the like, or even a prospect who will never buy any of my services, it's okay, because I will still be putting out more quality content in the future. Regardless, thank you for watching until this point. I'm Differenter Colin. Why be different when you can be differenter? I'll see you next week in another of my thoughts video. Okay?